Howdy folks. For today's episode of Lost in the Woods, I figured we'd go get lost in the woods. But first, I gotta get some stuff out of the way. You ever tell a joke and everybody likes it, and then you tell it again and you tell it again? Well, I think I'm gonna quit doing the Coors Light trees. That was really just an homage to an old YouTube video, Chris Planky, Man vs. UP. He deserves the credit for the Busch Light tree. I stole his joke. I hope he don't mind. I'm going to put a link in the comments to it because it's pretty funny. The other thing, I can't believe it, but I now have 27 subscribers. I can't believe it. Where'd you come from? You guys are awesome. You make it all worthwhile. Thank you. If you have subscribed, consider sharing these videos. Maybe if your friends subscribe, get some more subscribers, and well, who knows what will happen then. So, what are we going to talk about today? I've been trying to put this all together for quite a while, and I think I figured it out. But a good place to start is, well, I told you we're not going to find Coors Light trees, but that doesn't mean we're not going to have a Coors Light. Arthur C. Clarke, a very well-known science fiction author, said, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Now, the first time you hear that, maybe every time you hear that, hopefully you've heard that before. You probably think about, oh yeah, if I brought like a camera back to the medieval times, they totally wouldn't understand it. They would think it was magic. All right, if I brought, I don't know, a car, right, back to ancient civilization, they wouldn't understand it. They'd be looking for invisible horses because they wouldn't understand how it worked, and they'd be calling it magic. But what is magic? I think magic really is just a system that you're able to manipulate and use, even though you don't fully understand how it works. A perfect example is a computer or a cell phone. You're able to manipulate and use your cell phone. You're able to accomplish things, even though you don't really know how it works. You might know how parts of it work, but nobody understands completely how it works. How are you watching this video right now? Well, you might know there's some ones and zeros stored on a computer somewhere, but you don't know where. It's getting to you somehow through some path, but you don't know where, you don't know how. That data is compressed. You don't know what methods are used, but you're still able to use technology to accomplish a goal. You had a desired outcome. You used technology. You didn't really understand how it works, but it got the job done anyways. That's magic. There's lots of different kinds of magic, and what I hope, when we get to the end of this video, you'll see why I hope this. I think language itself is a type of magic. Maybe some of you have even noticed the art of putting letters together to form words is called spelling, and a lot of people don't think that's a coincidence. As an aside note, there's a fascinating area of study you can look at. People think U.S. law has actually been subjugated And they say we're a maritime law, and that's why if you enter a courtroom, there's gold fringe on the flag. Maybe that's true. Interesting to think about. But that explains why all of our money is described in terms of water, like liquid assets and frozen assets. All of our business interactions, all of our interactions are described as a ship, like a partnership and a friendship and a fellowship. There's lots and lots to look at there, and I'm not going to go any deeper into that. But what I was going to get at is language is a way for people to impart an intent upon reality and actually create an outcome, right? If I call you bad names long enough, you will maybe start crying. You'll at least feel bad. That was language affecting your reality. There's another type of magic called ritual magic. If I do this, then this happens. And I laugh at work sometimes because I see people that, well, last time this machine didn't run, we hit that button twice, and we turned that off and on a couple times, and then we flipped that switch, and then we hit this button, and it started. So every time after that, if this machine won't run, they repeat that same ritual because it worked once. They believe repeating that ritual will create the desired effect, even though they didn't really understand what they were doing. Even to look at it more loosely, right? I go to a certain place periodically. I perform certain actions, and then a number on a website that I check goes up every 2 weeks. And when that number goes up, that allows me to continue to receive electricity at my house, right? None of that's not true, but if you describe it that way, it sure sounds like magic. There's another type of magic called sigil magic, and this is practiced by people who are into chaos magic. And I'm not really that big into magic. I just think it's neat to read about. I don't really practice it, so to speak. I mean, I'm talking to you right now through technology I don't really fully understand, so I guess I am practicing magic, right? But sigil magic involves creating images with specific intent and then putting those images out into the world so that other people see them. And the thought is that the more people see your image or your sigil, the more power it has, and then whatever the desired effect of people seeing your sigil has, it will be more likely to come true. And what I think is neat is if you look at businesses that have logos, these, in my opinion, this is sigil magic. These logos are sigil. And if you think about what the word logos means, it gets even more impressive, because a lot of creation myths talk about logos is the order or law that brought reality out of the chaos. So when you create a logo, you're imposing some order on the chaos in order to manifest or shape reality. And that's exactly what businesses do. They make logos so they hope people see them and buy their stuff, right? Because they want to shape and affect reality. I would argue that prayer is a type of magic, right? If everybody did pray for world peace, there would be world peace, right? Now, does it work? Does it not? It depends. It depends what you mean by working. It's up to you. The most dangerous type of magic is, some people call it occult magic, but I don't think it's fair to classify magic as occult. Occult means hidden. But the type of magical practices that are hidden, some people say they're hidden because the knowledge is so valuable that they don't want you to know about it. I think it's dangerous, and it's been hidden from you for your own protection. And I do think some organized religions are practicing occult magic without telling their constituents. But occult magic, a lot of it that I've seen involves taking into consideration that all of reality, well, you only perceive reality. Real reality is different than perceived reality. And what's really important to you isn't really real reality, it's perceived reality. And you can alter your perception of reality through various practices. And when you alter your perception of reality, that just becomes your new reality. And that's very powerful. It can really give you a good outlook on life, but it's also very dangerous, because there are elements of reality that you cannot control. And if you allow a practice in occult magic to warp your sense of perception to such a degree that you think you can control every element of reality, you're in for a big trouble. Well, potentially. Maybe I'm wrong. Hey, try it and find out, right? No thanks. So, why did I spend all that time talking about magic? Well, one, I think it's neat and interesting, and I think it's a big chunk of human history and development that nobody talks about, and I think that's a shame. Two, remember what I said at the beginning? Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. I think we have a very advanced technology. My hope is that it will evolve into something very useful for everybody, like language, right? Even though we don't really know how language works. I mean, we kind of do, but I just make sounds with my mouth and they go in your ear, and then pictures form in your brain. I mean, that's pretty profound, and there's a lot of steps there I think we might be leaving out. My hope is that technology evolves that way. But the danger is I think technology is being used to influence and control our perceptions. And that's much more like occult magic. And not only is it being done to you, it's put in your hands and allowing you to do it to yourself. It's allowing you to control what reality you actually live in, as far as you know, right? And that's what technology is doing. It's occult magic, whether you like it or not. And well, that's all. That's what I would think about that. If you think this stuff is neat, man, subscribe, like, share with your friends. Leave me some comments. I love talking about this stuff, and I'm not the expert. This is just all stuff I think is really neat, and I don't really know anybody that likes to talk about it, so I make these videos here, and maybe you'll like talking about it, or hearing about it, or thinking about it. There's a lot more to this subject than I just covered right now. So, well, okay, bye everybody. Have a nice day.